Hey everybody, this is Melissa. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Thank you so much for joining me as we look at how to quickly and simply address low back pain. I've designed this simple stretching protocol to target two of the major culprits that yank and pull on our hardworking low backs. I've also designed this to be done standing and in smaller spaces. You don't need a yoga mat, you don't need any props. This is something that you can take with you throughout your day. So whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and come to standing. So we'll be working with our breath in addition to these stretches. The breath is going to be very effective in relaxing our muscles, thereby reducing pain for two reasons. Accessing the breath relaxes our nervous system, which is what's clenching our muscles. And two, plenty of oxygen in circulation will help flush out the pain chemicals that are just stuck and sitting in our muscles. So as you find a comfortable standing position, allow yourself to notice your breath. However it is totally fine. If it's comfortable, you can go ahead and increase the length of your breath. But it's really okay if your breath is naturally a little bit slow and small. All right, so before we get started, I just want to send a big thank you out to our sponsor, La Pasa. They're a yoga wear company, and they sent me this gorgeous, comfortable outfit that I'm probably going to steal. And so anyways, if you want more information about them, please go ahead and check out our links below. All right, so we're just going to start out standing comfortably with our feet hip width apart. And I want you to take just the easiest, most gentle step backwards. All we're doing is we're feeling our feet, and we're just rocking back and forth. If you want to, please feel free to use a wall or put your hand on a chair or a table. It's very important that you do whatever you need to do to feel stable, especially since we're working with a part of our body that is primarily responsible for stabilizing us. Let's add in some arm. So let's come up onto our front foot, bring your arm forward, and we're just going to rock back. This is a good opportunity to maybe focus on or notice your breath. This is just the simple, soft warm-up before we move into stretching out our psoas. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit bigger of a step back and just make the motion a little bit bigger. So I'm coming up on my heel, coming up on my toes. And if you notice your hips opening to the side like this, we're trying to bring them a little bit more so your hip points are facing forward. It's not, like, don't be religious about it, but that's generally more the direction we're aiming for. All right, I'm gonna come back to standing. I'm gonna center myself. Take a breath, maybe bend my knees. And so even with just that one movement, I can feel a difference between my left side and my right side. There's a touch, there's more openness here. All right, so that small, easy step back, I'm just gonna rock. These movements are supposed to counterbalance one of the shapes that we make for most of the day. You know, most of us spend a lot of time sitting, and especially if we're sitting and driving, that increases tension throughout the tops of our thighs and the fronts of our hips. And so when these muscles are tightening, they shorten, and it literally pulls your hips closer to your thighs, which then stretches out the low back in a painful way. So we're just trying to create some really gentle space. And if this other side feels different than the first side, that's totally okay, and it's very normal. Most of us have a decent amount of asymmetry in our muscle groups, which is when presence and breathing, really can come and play a role in helping us to relax. And just accept that this is where our bodies are at in the moment. All right, go ahead and step back up to center. Bend your knees a little bit and breathe. So now we're going to very gently move into our stretch. So we're going to almost make almost the same shape as we did before. We're going to step back. And so you still want your hips and you still want your feet about hip width apart. It's almost like you're standing on railroad tracks. All right, so go ahead and bend your front knee. And soften your back knee. You can soften it a lot, you can soften it just a little bit. You don't want it locked out. If you feel any pain in your knee or around your knee joint, slowly back out and bend your knee. Where we want the stretch is right in here, okay? So I'm actually gonna move my foot forward a little bit. I'm gonna come up on my toes on my back foot. That just, for me, that feels more supportive of my low back. All right, and so it's just a matter of kind of fiddling. Okay, now I feel some. So I'm gonna stabilize my hand on my low back. This is also a really great time if you wanna grab some wall or a table, not a rolly chair, please. So I'm bending my knee, and then also by almost sitting up, I'm standing, I'm keeping my spine straight. And so that action is going to allow a stretch right in here. I'm just gonna breathe. And we'll come back to this. So if you don't get a lot of sensation right now, that is okay. You can even maybe arch your back a little bit. Not so much a curve, but more like you're lifting up and opening from your chest. Whoa. Okay, I'm just gonna step back up and kind of shake it out. And definitely, while we are aiming for getting a nice strong stretch, this is also something I want you to do very gently, because our low backs are just precious things. All right, so I'm gonna make that same step again. Railroad, feet hip width apart. Now, in order to get a different stretch on the front of the hips, I'm going to step my back foot out to the side about 6 inches. So we just widen those railroad tracks a little bit. All right, so from here, again, we're going to kind of experiment and adjust and see what feels good. So I'm gonna bend my knee. Ooh, actually, I'm getting a little bit of a stretch with my foot flat. And so you might make a totally different shape than I'm making right now. The most important thing is that whatever you're doing feels good. Like you feel that good, juicy stretch in here. And we can activate that stretch a little bit more. Like if you're in a good spot, you can engage your breath. And even the subtle motion of, having a full breath is going to be, pulling on that connective tissue. Whoa, please always stabilize. And I'm gonna go ahead and just step back and kind of wiggle around. So take a moment and just notice your two sides. How do your legs feel? How does your low back feel? I'm going to take a centering breath. And so what I mean by centering, it's not just maybe emotional centering. I am feeling into my spine, my center, feeling my weight evenly distributed over my feet. Let's go ahead and step the other foot back. That's easy step. And so your feet are still hip width apart. Hips are facing forward. And again, the side might feel really different than your other side. Especially if you do a lot of driving, the right side is going to have more muscle development than the other side. It's okay. It's totally normal. All right. So again, your foot can be flat on the floor. I like to have to be up on my toes for this one. And again, we're looking for that stretch, like right here in the front of the hips. So you can bend your knee. You can lean back. I'm actually even feeling this up here into my belly a little bit, which is, kind of around where the psoas, has some attachments. So as long as everything feels good, you are golden. And so again, I found a good spot, and so I'm going to breathe. Softening. With these two stretches, the little micro movements that you make, those are really important. And this is where we are meeting our bodies where they're at. It doesn't do us any good to exercise or stretch for the body that we wish we had or think that we should have. And when it comes to really finding relief, we need to practice acceptance, which may also include practicing not being able to accept and not being able to practice acceptance, accepting that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and come back in center. Feeling, everything line up, noticing the difference between the left side and the right side. Step back again. So simply for the sake of the space I'm in, I'm going to move my standing foot out to the side as opposed to my back leg. But it's really just, you're just widening your stance however you can by 3 to 6 inches. And so we're just moving the stretch over from, more on the inside of our body to a little bit more on the outside. So bending your knee, leaning forward, adjusting your foot. Whoa. Again, I probably even need a wall at this point. So one way to make this stretch a little more stable is to really feel your feet. Like almost even imagine that there are roots coming out of your toes into the ground, helping you grip. Another little adjustment, you can bring your back hip forward a little bit. That can often be like the little sweet spot that helps you access that hip flexor. Okay. Grounding and stepping up. Breathe and feel your feet. Maybe bend. Shake it out a little bit. And I invite you to take a moment and notice the opening and the openness that you've created. So let's go ahead and move into our final stretch. This is a little bit more of a cool down stretch. While it will give us opening, I wanted to do something to support and contain the low back after we did such a deep stretch on the fronts of our hips. So go ahead and start with your feet hip width or maybe a little wider. And we're going to do 3 different versions of hip circles. So for our third and final stretch, I'm going to be showing you hip circles, which are pretty much my favorite top yoga move out there. If you would like a more detailed breakdown of this movement, I have a whole video on hip circles in the pain relief program. So we're going to be doing 3 very simple variations. So go ahead and you can either place your hands on the fronts of your hips, or depending, if it's comfortable for your wrists and thumbs, you can do this. Personally, I have to do this. So really, it's okay. Whatever is going to make you feel the best. And so hips, hands, I'm going to roll my shoulders back and bend my knees just slightly. I'm going to come over to one side. I'm going to inhale a half circle. So inhaling, tracing a half circle with my hips. I'm going to exhale to the back, exhaling. And come around again, inhaling. And exhaling. I'm bending over a little bit, but I'm trying to keep my spine as straight and flat as possible. Inhale. And exhale. This is 3. 4. And 5. Come back to center. Just let your arms down. All right, so let's go ahead and reverse the hip circles. Inhaling across the front and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. 2. 3. 4. And 5. And so the reason why this is so effective is while we're, so we're getting a stretch through this motion, right? However, while we're increasing, we're almost doubling the stretch in a way by using our breath. So we're getting a stretch through the movement and also a stretch internally from the inside out as we allow our belly to fill with air and just, and pull on all of those delicate but probably pretty tight muscle connections and connective tissue. So we're bringing a lot of different elements in here to support our low back. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just take 2 small steps out to the side. So you wanna just be a little bit wider, but not at the full width of comfort. All right, so the same deal. Let's go ahead and breathe in a front half circle. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. 3, 4, 5. You can have your eyes open or closed, whatever is going to leave you feeling the most stable. Let's center. And opposite side, inhaling, feeling into your feet, inhale, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming back to center. I want you to widen your feet a little bit more. Not as wide as you can go, but just a little bit wider. And if that was as wide as you could comfortably go ahead and just stay right where you're at. Really, truly, it's okay. Whatever amount of flexibility and space that you have access to. And it's also okay if that changes from time to time. Our bodies are very fluid, and the structure of our muscles and the condition of our muscles will change based on our hydration, how much we've slept, our stress levels, what we've been eating. So I promise you're okay. All right, let's inhale to center. Let's go ahead and get started. Inhaling front, exhaling back. Inhaling front, exhaling back. 2. And personally, I'm noticing a pretty big difference just with that widening of the stance. If I can feel more tension in the fronts of my hips. 3. So I'm actually going to slow down just a little bit and bring more attention into my breath. 4 and 5. Center. Since I went a little bit more slowly, my arm's a little sore, so I'm just going to shake them out a little bit. All right, go ahead and do the opposite side. Inhale, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back to center. Let your arms relax. Just kind of make some soft steps. And then let's go ahead and make this fun, twisty kind of shape. This one you would need to be careful if this is a smaller space. If you don't want your arms moving around, you can grab right here. Just kind of let your body feel the waves. You know, there's a lot of liquid in our bodies. We can focus on that softness right now. All right. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me today. And I truly hope that these stretches have brought you some relief and more space in your body. I just want to encourage you that anything you can do, even if it's just one breath, 1 minute, once a week, once a day, that will help you feel better. So I also want to take this time to thank La Pasa again for sponsoring this video and sending us this amazing outfit. I like it even more after I've filmed a video in it, which is definitely saying something. Thank you so much again for joining me. If you would like to follow along with the full pain relief protocol, go ahead and check out the link below in the description, and have a wonderful day.
We at Wellness Plus specialize in all things health and wellness, ranging from yoga and fitness to massage and ASMR. Whether you are looking to target specific areas of tension or want to enhance your general self-care routine, we provide the tools you need to feel better, look better, and live better. We have courses for every level, whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro. Our courses provide a wide range in difficulty to accommodate your evolving flow. Wellness Plus is available on Amazon, which you can stream from your home on your phone, tablet, or TV. Join Wellness Plus today and get your first 7 days free.